All right, so for today, we're going to do a mini lesson on direct and inverse variation. As previously mentioned, direct and inverse variation is just an extension of writing an equation. All right, so when we look at a direct variation, looking at this first row here, we have the equation kx. All right, and we can look at this and we can tell that this equation kx is very similar to our slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b. The only difference is that our b for our direct variation is always 0. All right. So when we graph it, when we get to the graph, you will see that a direct variation always goes to the point 0, 0. Hence why we have a y-intercept. So we could write our equation like our slope-intercept form, but our y-intercept is always going to be 0. All right. Words, when we're talking about words or like word problems, it says y varies directly as x. So in word problems, it will tell you if it varies directly or inversely, and we'll see that when we get to the inverse variation. All right. So in a real world real world situation, k is positive. So when we talk about direct variations, algebra 1, as x increases, y increases. So with direct variation, is doing the exact same thing. If x decreases, y decreases. If x decreases, y decreases as well. So they're always doing the exact same thing, but we always talk about a positive k in algebra 1. The constant k can be found by using the ratio. So when we talk about proportions, we have a ratio of y over x. This is very similar to our rise over run when we're looking for slope. So this represents the ratio / slope of the line. All right. So if we look here at this example, y equals 2x, all right, we can definitely tell it's a direct variation because our y-intercept is 0 and is in the form of the equation y equals kx. All right, so if we pick some random values, let's pick -1, 0, 1, 2. If we plug that in, -1 times 2 is -2. 2 times 0 gives us 0. 2 times 1 gives us 2. And 2 times 2 gives us 4. All right. We can plot these points as you can see right here. We have our origin here, 0, 0. All right, so let's plot these points. So we have -1, -2. All right, we have 0, 0. We have 1, 2. And we have 2, 4. All right, so we're just going to plot those points there. But here we can see, of course, my line is not straight whatsoever. Then we have a proportionate line here. And again, the x-intercept and y-intercept will always be 0, 0 because that is where it intercepts the x and the y-axis, because a direct variation always goes through the origin. All right. With an inverse variation, y equals k over x is going to be our equation. In terms of word problems, y varies inversely as x. All right. So in this situation, think about the name inverse variation. That means x and y are doing opposite things. If x increases, y decreases, and vice versa. So they're doing opposite things. All right. To find the constant k, you're just taking your x and y values and multiplying together. This represents a product. So we find our constant k by using a product instead of using a ratio like with direct variation. All right, so if we pick some values here, let's pick, how about -4, -1, 1, 2. All right, so when I plug in -4, I'm going to get -0.5. When I plug in -1, I'm going to get -2. When I plug in 1, I'm going to get 2. And when I plug in 2, I'm going to get 1. All right, let's go ahead and plot these points. So we have -4, -0.5. So that's going to be about right here. We have -1, -2. We have 1, 2. And we have 2, 1. All right. So the graph of inverse variation, algebra 1, we do not have to graph this, but it's very important to look at what the graph of a inverse variation looks like. So it looks something like this. My lines are not perfect whatsoever, but we can see that with the graph is going in two different directions. All right. All right. It talks about asymptotes here. We're not even going to get into that because this graph, again, it's important to know that it's going to be going in opposite directions. All right. If you know one ordered pair XY in a given variation relationship, you can find the constant of variation, which is K, no matter if it's a direct variation or if it's an inverse variation. And write a direct or inverse variation relationship. All right. So now we're going to use this knowledge here from this page, and we're going to actually work out some problems for direct and inverse variation. So first of all, we're going to start off with direct variation. A couple reminders. Remember, the equation is y equals kx. And we know we find the constant k with y divided by x. All right. So it says, given the ordered pairs, first, they want us to find the constant of variation. Then they want us to write the equation. All right. So remember the constant of variation here. We find that by putting y over x. So I'm going to take my -8 and put that over -12. Both are divisible by 4, so I get 2 over 3. I'm going to take my -4 and put it over -6. That also reduces to 2 over 3. Of course, 0, 0. And then we have 2 over 3 for the last one. All right, so our constant of variation is going to be k is equal to 2 over 3. So remember, we find the constant by taking the y value, putting it over the x, and making sure it applies for the entire set of ordered pairs or table, no matter what you're given. All right, now it says write the equation. So remember, our equation is y equals kx, where k is the constant. So our equation here is y equals 2/3 x. All right. For the second one, it says the variable y varies directly as x. Y is equal to -16 when x is equal to 2. All right. So it's asking us to find the constant of variation. All right. So remember that k is equal to y over x. So we're going to put -16 over 2, and we get -8 for k. We're going to write an equation that represents it. So we have y is equal to -8x, All right. Then the next part of that says find y when x is equal to -1, 1, and 2. All right, so we have the equation y equals -8. We're going to multiply it by -1 to get 8. We're going to multiply it by 1 to get -8. And then we're going to multiply it by 2 to get -16. All right, number three. Number 3 is one that you will see often where they're giving you a set of ordered pairs or giving you the x and y values for one and asking you to find the x or y value for the other. So this is where we're going to use that proportionate relationship. All right, it says that the following ordered pairs represent a direct variation, find the missing value. So we have the point 2.87 and x -4. All right, so remember we find our constant k by y over x, but we're going to use that proportion to help us find the missing value. All right, so we have 7 over 2.8 is equal to -4 over x because we're missing that x value. So remember, when we work with proportions, we cross multiply. All right, so we have 7 times x is equal to -4 times -2.8. 7x is equal to -11.2. Divide both sides by 7, and we get that x is equal to -1.6. All right, and the last example for direct variation, it says identify which of the following graphs represent a direct variation. All right, so it looks like we are looking for a graph that goes to the origin, so we can automatically knock out A and knock out C. B is a direct variation that goes to the origin. Again, we work with positive values, so most of the time you're going to see graph D, but technically graph B and graph D are a direct variation. but graph D is going to be the one that you are going to see the most, so with the positive value or positive constant. All right. And let's take a look at inverse. All right, so we're doing the exact same thing here, except for we're working with the inverse variation. So if you remember, inverse variation has the equation y equals k over x, and we find k by using the product of x and y. So multiplying x and y. All right, so given the ordered pairs, they want us to find the constant and then write the equation to represent. All right, so we have negative 5 times 2.4, which is going to give us negative 12. Negative 3 times 4, which gives us negative 12. Negative 2 times 6, which gives us negative 12. And negative 1, 2, which gives us negative 12. All right, so our k here is going to be negative 12. Writing the equation, we get y equals negative 12 over x. For number 6, it says the variable y varies inversely as x, y equals 12 when x equals 7. All right, so we're going to find the constant of variation. Remember, we multiply our x and y. So we have 7 times 12, which gives us a constant k of 84. Writing that equation, we have 84 over x. Now it is asking us to find values, y values, given our constant k and these x values. So we have y equals 84 over 5, which is going to give us 16.8. Y equals 84 divided by 10, which gives us 8.4. And then we have y equals 84 divided by 16, which gives us 5.25. All right, looking at number 7, if the following ordered pairs represent a direct variation, find the missing value. So they give us the 0.4 and 0.2 and x and x and 8. So we're looking for that missing value of x. So just like with the direct variation, we use that constant relationship for k to find out the missing value. We're going to do the exact same thing, except for we're using x times y equals x times y. So we're giving our x value of 4 and our y value of 0.2, and that is equal to 8 times x, because we're looking for x. 4 times 0.2 gives me 0.8 is equal to 8x. Divide both sides by 8, and we get that x is equal to 10. All right, we're not going to worry about that because we do not have to sketch the graph of an inverse variation, only for direct variation algebra 1. So we are going to skip number 4. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're able to use these examples to help you apply them to the problems that are in your study guide for the interim 2 assessment. Thanks for tuning in.